Good morning. How are you doing? Welcome to the morning live stream for Tuesday. I'm Bill DeWeese, professional voiceover talent and voiceover coach. And pretty much every weekday morning at about 8 a.m. Eastern Time, we get together on this channel for a few minutes live so I can share a thought, a word of encouragement, a tip, a trick, a strategy to help you become more successful in your voiceover career. And by successful, yes, I mean more profitable, to make more money in voiceover. But first, I have to share a true story regarding yesterday. For those of you who are regulars on this live stream, I must apologize. I was out of town over the weekend, went to Illinois to visit my kids and my grandkids, and the plan was to live stream from my notebook computer in the car on the way back. So we got up early. We left yesterday morning, Illinois, to head back to Ohio so I could be in the studio in time to get some work done. And so I asked my wife to drive, and so she's driving so I can stream. So I set up my MacBook Pro, I pull out my telephone, and I set up my hotspot. And we're driving at this particular time in a rural area, so it's going to be a little iffy, but I thought it's probably going to be doable. So I set everything up, and my wife tells me, she says, "Now you realize that it's almost 9 o'clock Eastern Time, right?" I missed it by an hour because we were in the Central Time Zone. And here's the part that really gets me. Intellectually, I knew that. I knew we were in Central Time. But in terms of that actually making it to my consciousness and understanding the implications of that and what the reality was, it just didn't. So had she not said that, I would have gone on for a live stream an hour late, and maybe that would have been better than not at all. I don't know. But I thought, well, you know what? I know you guys are expecting me at 8, and I'm sorry, and I'll do it tomorrow. So here I am, and so glad to have you on the stream this morning. Thanks for checking in. And if you are Patricia from Buffalo, I appreciate your enthusiasm for the Bills. She says the Bills are unstoppable, and you may very well be right, Patricia. We have a couple more weeks to go in the season, but we'll find out. Take a moment, if you would, excuse me, to check in on the live stream. Let me know who you are, where you're at, where you're watching or listening from this morning, and then we'll get to our topic for the day. But let me just see who's on right now. The live stream is filling up. We've got Jeremy in Austin and Guy in St. Louis. Good morning. David in South Carolina, the Palmetto State. Love it. Hey, David, good morning. Edward, Lake of the Ozarks. Never been, but I would love to be sometime. Patricia from Buffalo. Yes, go Bills. Good morning. Athens, Greece checking in. We've got Fred in Cameroon. And he said he missed me yesterday. Thank you for that, Fred. I appreciate it. Hey, Jolie, how are you doing in beautiful Minnesota? Yes, indeed. David says, regarding the time zone thing, been there, done that. And, I cannot even begin to tell you how many times I've done that. And here's the scare. You could say, okay, well, Bill, you're getting a little bit older. You're not as young as you once were, and maybe that's it. But here's the issue. When I was 25, I was doing the same thing. So it really didn't. That's just the way my mind operates. Some things it just latches onto, and, I don't miss a beat. Other things just fly on by. Let's see here. Doug in Greensboro, North Carolina. How are you? Yes, I had a wonderful weekend. Thank you. As I mentioned, visited my kids and my grandkids, and Alex lives in the city, Chicago, and he was able to come down and visit with us while we were with Mallory and her family. And his girlfriend plays, and they both play in different bands, but his girlfriend plays in a band, and they came down and played a show, and it was nice to see them. And we were able to catch a soccer game for my oldest grandson, and we had a blast. It was so good to see those guys. Hey, Kenny, how are you doing in Tampa, Florida? Piper from Matt from British Columbia. Good morning. Have a strong day from D.C. All right. Jeremy in Austin. Let's see here. We've got Blue in New Jersey checking in from his home studio. All right, Blue, good morning. David in Louisville has been late or early a couple times in Kentucky with both Eastern and Central time zones. Yeah, I can see where that would. Vicky and I actually we were joking around about it during the trip, saying, how weird would it be if you actually lived on right on the time zone? because we know pretty much where where it changes in Indiana when we're traveling from Ohio to Illinois. There's on I-65. There's a farm of a windmill farm, just tons of these huge windmills, and it's during that time. But like, what if you lived on one side of the line, but you worked on another, or you had other activities on the other side, and trying to keep things straight? I would imagine it could get kind of crazy. Good morning, Tanya, representing Philly. Fly, Eagles, fly. I love it. Hey, Danny, San Diego, good morning. What's up, Randy in Utah? Rick in Western Virginia. We'll come back to the stream here in just a moment, but let's talk about the topic for today. My topic for you today is the power of priority in voiceover. The power of priority. There's always a lot of stuff to do or that can be done. But what is most important at any given time? I've been thinking a lot lately about that. It's something that's always in my consciousness. I'm always trying to think, what will leverage my time the most? What is the one thing that I can do today that will make the biggest difference? But lately, and I think it's because actually I'm listening to an audiobook right now about the Pareto principle. You may have heard it stated as the 80-20 rule. And what the 80-20 rule essentially says is that about 20% of most productivity, 20% of productivity in the terms of whether it's money or happiness or whatever, about 20% of it, 80% of that is generated through 20% of the effort. So if you were to grab a group of people, say 1,000 people, you can pretty much bet that around 20%, give or take, it may be more, it may be less, but generally 20% of the people are going to produce 80% of the results of that group. If you look at your day, about 20% of the time that you spend really produces 80% of your results, whether it's money, whether it's happiness, building relationships, whatever. It's just, and it's not always exactly 80-20. That's just a general guide, but the point is this: not all things, not all time, well, I shouldn't say time. All time is created equal, but not all activities are created equal. And there are some things that will get you further toward your objectives and your goals faster, better, even easier than other things. But you have to take the time to think about it. And I think that most of us, until we learn, and maybe you've learned this lesson, maybe you haven't, we kind of run around with like chickens with our heads cut off, with no sense of direction, just bouncing around, because we give everything, everybody equal priority. When in reality, that's not the way it is, or not the way it should be, at least not if we want to accomplish much of anything. So understanding that 80% of your time, generally speaking, is only producing 20% of your results, well, then what's the 20% that we should be focusing on? What are the few things that you do every day that get you the 80%? And when it comes to voiceover, now that can change on any given day and at any given time. So this is really on you to figure that out. But when I start my day, either the night before or the morning of, I like to think, what's the one thing, or what are the 2 or 3 things that I can do today that will help me to get closer to my goal or my goals? Because I could do 50 things today, and maybe I will end up doing 50 things today. But what is the single most important thing that I can do that will give me the biggest result and take me further, farther, faster than anything else? Because we often miss that thing. And if you're thinking, okay, what exactly is that? Well, ask yourself this question: what is the thing that you're avoiding the most? And oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, that's the thing that you should be doing. Because the thing that will take us faster to where we want to go, oftentimes is a stretch for us. It makes us uncomfortable. So for instance, maybe it's actually cold calling prospective clients on the telephone. And I have a student in my voiceover blueprint program, Mike Pariti, who I was talking to just the other day. We were having a coaching session, and he was telling me that, he finally decided that he was going to start making cold calls, which is terrifying to him and me and it scares everybody. I mean, I've done it. I've done a lot of it, and I've been successful at it. But don't think that it doesn't make me nervous. It does. That's just the way I think human beings, especially performers, are wired. We want approval. We don't want people to get mad at us. And the ironic thing about cold calling and voiceover is I've never had somebody be upset with me. Never, ever. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, and even if it did, so what? That's a discussion for another time. But Mike was telling me that he just sat down and said, I'm going to do this. And he's made it a priority to daily do that. And his results have been fantastic. And so making a choice like that, I'm not saying that needs to be your thing today. Maybe your thing today is you need to make a decision on getting the equipment that you need, or treating your recording space, or hiring a demo producer, or getting the scripts together for your DIY demo, or finally getting, maybe you're doing a lot of busy work to avoid actually setting up a profile on a platform because you're afraid. What if somebody actually tries to hire me? Then what? I get it. We've all been there. By the way, just do it anyhow, because you'll figure it out. You will figure it out. But what is it you can do today that will take you there faster, farther, with the least amount of effort? And usually the thing that is most important is going to be the least amount of effort physically, but emotionally it's not. It's the hardest thing to do, typically because it stretches us. It puts us in a position of being uncomfortable. Like, for instance, and I know there are a bunch of you guys right now who are early on in your career and you're thinking, okay, I need to go live on Fiverr, but you're still finding a bunch of other reasons not to go live. You're still, okay, is this, am I good enough at this? Have I done this? And you've been doing, I'm not talking about people on their first day. I'm talking about those of you, you've got your equipment, you've got your demos, and you're thinking, okay, what if I forgot? What if somebody actually tries to hire me? What am I going to do? What if I can't edit as good as I think I can? What if they don't like me? I mean, I get it. Believe me, I totally get it. So it's not that it's hard to do and that it's going to take you all day. It might literally take you 5 minutes. But emotionally, it's difficult to take that step over the threshold. And maybe that's not it for you, but whatever it is, take the step over the threshold, do the one thing today that will get you further, faster, farther, and with less energy, at least physical energy, than anything else. And once you do that, everything else is gravy after that during the day. But if you at least do the one thing every day, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at how fast things will move for you. But it's just a matter of doing it. Let's see here. Let's go back to our live stream and see who we've got on. Danny, San Diego. Randy, Utah. Rick, Western Virginia. Peter, Northeast Pennsylvania. Good morning. Steve, Oshkosh, what's up? Riding out a thunderstorm. You guys have thunderstorms in Wisconsin? Just kidding. Dave in Lytle, Texas. Lemuel, what's up? Shawnee in Georgia at the moment. And thank you for your kind words, by the way. Janet in Florida. Brad in Harvest, Alabama. Oh, yeah, we've got John in the burbs of Chicago. Love it. Dory in Maryland. Good morning. How are you, Dory? Let's see here. Texas. Mark in Eaton, Ohio. Home of the Preble County Pork Festival. Douglas, what's up in New York? Hey, Rob, what's up? It's a foggy day in Loveland, as it is here as well. Oh, my goodness. I was awakened by an alert on my phone early this morning that said we were under a dense fog advisory, and we are. The dew hangs heavy on everything this morning. Hey, Jolie. Oh, thanks for the feedback. She said the talk this morning hit home. Good. I hope that helps. Hey, Lily from Maryland. Here's a comment. I get anxious about rejection, but I know I have to try. Yes. And you know what? I don't know of anybody who doesn't get anxious about rejection. Well, maybe I can think of one or two people. I'm not included in that. I think most of us do, especially those of us who are performers. Because we need people to accept us to be successful at what we do. But here's the reality. If you're never rejected, it means you're not trying. If you never fail, it means you're not trying. Not everybody's going to love what you do. Not everybody's going to hire you. So, believe me, not even close to everybody hires me. And here's the thing I tell people. I don't need everybody. All I need are a handful. But I may have to contact and get in touch with and market myself to a boatload of people to get that handful. But that's all I need. I don't need everybody to like what I do. I don't need everybody to hire me. I just need a handful. That's all, and that's all you need for success. Hey, B, thanks for catching the live stream this morning. Good to have you here. Hey, Annie in Ottawa, how are you doing? She says it's like the Eat That Frog book concept. I haven't read the book, but that sounds like, yes, if each day you have to eat a frog, get it over with first thing. Yes, it won't help to avoid and dwell on it all day. Ain't that the truth, Annie? Thanks for sharing that. We've got Dennis in Philadelphia, Jake in Annapolis, Maryland. Hey, Don, what's up? And by the way, I'm not able to get to all the questions here this morning. Make sure you bring them back on Friday, and I'll get to as many as I can then. And then the ones I can, I try to, spread out during the following week. So sorry, I can't. Yes, just a matter of time, and I do apologize for that. Amma, hey, Iran says hello. Well, good morning to you in Iran. Good to have you on this morning. Let's see here. East Detroit. Good to have you here. What's up? Jake, let's see here. He keeps getting shortlisted, but rarely hired. Is that normal? Jake, that's the way it works. When you're auditioning, cattle call auditioning, you do a lot of cattle call auditioning. And then from that, you'll get a handful of shortlists or likes. And from that, you'll occasionally get hired. So it is part of the process. But just the fact that you're getting liked or shortlisted is a good sign. So hang in there. Hang in there. Oh, let's see here. I can't believe what you said right when I clicked into the live stream. It was perfect for me and exactly what I needed to hear. In Oregon. Oh, well, thanks for saying that, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Try it out. Let me know how it works for you. Hey, Randy, how are you doing this morning? No, having a website's not important when you first get started, and we can talk about that more in depth at another time. And Ian in Wilmington, North Carolina. Hey, guys, thanks for making the live stream this morning. I do appreciate it. And tomorrow morning, I'll continue this conversation with another strategy that will, it's really helped me out a lot. And I share things, most of what I share, everything I share are things that I do myself and that I've learned through experience and through others and have put into practice and have found them to be useful. But I'll share some more of that tomorrow. So hope you'll join me then for the live stream. In the meantime, have a great day, make something good happen, and do the one thing, at least just the one thing that will help you get further, farther, faster down the road towards your goals and objectives. All right, take care. See you soon.